One day, while exploring the forest region of Fallout 76, we come upon a pair of cabins in the woods. This is the Groves family cabins. Located in the forest just west of Aaronholt Homestead, these cabins were once used by a family of hunters before the war. As we approach the cabins, we find that they are currently occupied by a group of Scorched. After we clear the area, we can loot the cabins. We find various random loot, an end of dungeon steamer trunk filled with random loot, and a note inside of a fridge in the cabin on the right. The note is titled North Star. Reading the note, North Star by Michael Oldberry. You are my North Star. I can see you wherever you are. In the backwoods, in the forest, our love binds us and brings us. Mists and shadows, clouds and shade, heaven and earth, home and glade. In the backwoods, in the forest, our love binds us and it brings us. Who is Michael Oldberry, and why did he write this poem? We are not given any of these answers. We don't even know who the poem was written for. Maybe one day we will find this Michael Oldberry, or at least learn his fate. For now, all we can do is wonder. Behind these cabins, there is a small garden filled with pumpkins, mutfruit, and, of course, carrots. There is also a soil sensor, which is used in the daily quest Ecological Balance. I will be covering this quest in a future video, so stay tuned for that. Other notable loot includes a possible bobblehead, which can be found on a support beam above the bunk bed. You may also find a magazine near the soil sensor on the bottom bunk of the outside bunk bed. There is also a possible armor mod plan that can be found in the fridge below the North Star poem. There is also an armor workbench and a cooking station here. Leaving the cabins and heading slightly south, we come upon a small encampment. This is known as the Darling Sisters Lab. This location has 4 shacks and a trailer. There is no lore here, but looking around the area, we can conclude that this was a makeshift drug lab. Upon arriving, we find that the area is home to a set of floaters. Once they have been dealt with, we can freely explore. We can find various loot, most of which can be used for crafting chems, which is why we are able to deduce that this was part of a pre-war drug lab. Inside one of the shacks, we find a tinker's workbench, and inside the trailer we can find a chemistry station. Behind one of the shacks is another sensor used in the Ecological Balance quest. We also have a chance to find a bobblehead on the roof of the trailer. We may also find a magazine in the shack with the weather vane on top. The magazine will be located behind the picture frame on the ground near the mattress. You may also find a random recipe on a barrel behind the archery target. While neither of these locations have any real-world counterparts, the lab does have some cut content which gives some better insight about this location. 2 notes were cut. For what reason? Who knows? It's just what Bethesda does. At any rate, this place was run by 2 sisters named Narla and Carla Darling, hence the name of the location. The first note was titled Carla's Plan. It read, I talked with Christopher. He got me the final version of the plan. Our role in all of this was to work the front of the house while he and his guys hit the safes around back. If they can't crack the safes on site, we'll load them into the trucks and bust them open someplace with a little more privacy. What Chris doesn't know is that his car is set to blow its coolant line before he makes it a mile. That way, he takes the heat and we take the cash. The second note was titled Narla's List. It read, we should be good to take the bank in the morning. From your plan, I got the stuff we're going to need. I'll be back tomorrow morning with the car. 5 feet of rope, 10 feet of chain, 2 pounds of soap chips, formaldehyde 1 gallon, shotguns, shotgun shells, a bucket, duffel bags, steel frame mirrors, 2 business suits, ID cards, whiskey, 2 bottles for courage. Love, G. So these two were not only drug lords, but they were also bank robbers who had no problem betraying the people they got to help them. Honestly, there is really no reason why these notes should have been cut. Without the notes, this location is rather forgettable. Hopefully one day this cut content will be added back in and maybe even expanded on. I think it would be interesting to have a small side quest to find the sisters, or just their bank haul. So what are your thoughts of these two locations? Have you found them in your playthrough? What do you think about the cut content? Sound off in the comments below. While you're at it, like, subscribe, and share. And as always, I'm just glad you stopped by, and I'll see you in the next one.